Hey, Ralph. I'm glad you found that button. How do I shut this thing off?
I'm sitting here waiting. I was like, he doesn't know where it is.
Exactly. Oh.
Okay. Now that everybody's had their laugh for the night.
Well, all right, guys. Here's the thing. You're gonna have to bear with us a little bit tonight. There may be some mess ups. There may be some other things going on. But what we're trying to do is people were asking, so we're going to tell them about another option. So if you haven't purchased the annual subscription of Talk Studio and you want to try out something new, this is another good option to go to. And that's on Ralph's channel. We have Jaden0428 on Ralph's channel. Welcome in. And then let me try to pull up mine too. But if you're on the monthly subscription of Talk Studio and you want to try EV Mux, which we're about to show y'all tonight, then use your Talk Studio for the month and try EV Mux out for a month if you want to. You don't have to or anything. But some people were not liking some of the stuff on Talk Studio. And so Ralph tried out this one, EV Mux, and it's pretty decent as well. Got to view my channel. There we go. And let's see who all we got here. Participants. We have Arlene, Bat13, Nothing But Love, Major Dez, Peaceful Dez, and Corporal Tim Mitchell. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate y'all. And so we're going to show you a little bit about EV Mux. Now, this is the free version of EV Mux, but with the free version of EV Mux, you can actually have 12 people up on panel, I believe is what Ralph said.
Yep, I think.
And there's a few things that are different. Like one thing being the chat, instead of being on the right hand side, is on the left hand side. And so that's a little bit awkward because I'm always used to looking on the right and now it's on the left. Bat13 says, hello, Eddie and Ralph. Look at that. There we go. See? Look at that right there. Nice. And look at his avatar. That's pretty
Did
cool.
bring it up.
And it shows that he's on YouTube. And there's Peaceful Dez, and it shows she's on YouTube. Now, we're only streaming to YouTube tonight, but with EV Mux, you can stream to multiple platforms. You can stream to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Freaking, they got like 15 or so of them that you can stream. So if you were multi-streaming, you were streaming. Right now, we're multi-streaming to my channel and Ralph's channel, both on YouTube. But, and Ralph, just curiosity's sake, don't hit it, but you have the end broadcast up top. It allows you, okay, see, and that's another thing with EV Mux.
Excuse me.
That Talk Studio does not have is if you make someone a administrator or what they call a collaborator on EV Mux, and you can have, I'll let Ralph tell you about that in a minute. Yeah. But they have full control over the same stuff you do. They can start the stream, end the stream, stuff like that if they're a collaborator. And but it's got these cool little things. See around our thing. There's a lot of cool features to EV Mux as well. Let's see. Hoorah, Arlene. Hi, kids. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Hoorah, MBL. He said, hoorah, Eddie. Hello, Ralph. Hope y'all are having a great Saturday. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Hoorah, the moose. Trying to catch up to the bottom. Okay. Anyways, Ralph's going to be explaining some stuff, and I'll jump in. Hi, Tim Mitchell. Hey, the moose. What is that? Why is that over there? Maybe that was the last thing he typed. I don't. There was over on the left hand side of the screen. There was a Tim Mitchell saying hello to Moose or hi to Moose or something. Hoorah, Joshy
Oh,
Poo.
I think you had your cursor over one of the comments and it just kind of pushed it out so you could see it more. It doesn't highlight it on the screen. It's for your purpose.
Yeah, that's what it does. I guess. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's not there. Oh, there's a little. There's a little. Um,
It does let you chat to YouTube.
it does
Yeah, I just did it. I
now.
just typed in. Excuse me. I just typed in. Hey, every.
Des, do me a favor. I'm going to send you a link via email.
Excuse me.
And I just want to try this out. Okay. We're learning this. This is new to us. We haven't even played with it a whole lot. Ralph didn't really want to go live on here because he didn't want to screw up. And I'm like, we do that anyway.
I was going to blame it on you, anyways. No, I've played with this. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I've just kind of been quiet over here, but I've actually played with the software a little bit more, a couple days worth, but I haven't done anything online with it, so I haven't gone live with it or anything like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at tonight. It's a really nice program. There's all kinds of these types of programs out there, and I was going to talk about software, and I'll just touch on what I was going to talk about, and we'll do other stuff about it.
Okay, Des, I sent you a link. If you would do me a favor, come up on panel, see if you can type to the YouTube chat. And once you do, I'm going to kick you off panel. See if you can type on panel in the chat that's on panel, and it goes out to YouTube. Recording stopped for free plan.
It's okay. Just hit okay.
Stop due to free plan limitations. You can continue your broadcast. Just notice that the rest of the broadcast will not be recorded. Okay. Didn't want to record it anyway.
It was.
So
yeah, there's all kinds of software out there like this. I mean, everybody knows about StreamYard. We all know about Talk Studio because that's what we've been using. There's Restream.io. There's this one, EVMux. And what did I leave out? I left one out. Restream. I left out Restream, I think. But they're all very similar. So,
hold on a second. Des, say something down there in the basement. It works, Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine. I want to make sure you're Des. Are you Des? This is cool too because there's a little button that says listen to offstage feeds. So when you're talking in the basement, we can hear you. Well, I would only be able to hear you, but Ralph's
I can hear you too.
So he can hear you too because he's a collab.
Also, since Eddie interrupted us, no, I'm just Eddie. If you look down on Dez's little panel in the basement there, you see that? See the little walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
If you push on that, that's just you talking directly to Dez, and I can't hear you.
Oh.
No, I can't hear you. See, this thing has some really cool stuff in it. It really does.
What's it cost on this one?
$25 a month. It goes back to the StreamYard price.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
If you do monthly, it's $25. If you pay for a whole year, it's $19. But once you hit the paid version, so you get rid of a lot of the watermarking and stuff that's in this has more capability than any of the others out there, and I'll show you that in a second.
Real quick, now on mine it's got a search. Is that where I type a comment or?
No, your comment should be at I'm not sure where it is on the.
See on the left-hand side where the chat's coming up, Des?
I'm looking at the chat on the
left-hand side. You're looking at chat. It says okay. At the bottom of that, it doesn't have like a little chat box. Okay, click on private real quick. Private chat. You see that at the bottom down there?
Nope.
No.
I've got private. There's no place to put a comment.
Yeah, remember, she's not seeing the same screen that we're seeing because she's a
Yeah, I know.
user.
But if you're doing private chat, there should be. Okay, that's
Can't
how.
remember. I can't remember.
I
what
think
that-
if I click on you, yes, but because I just did that. But if I want to click like you and Ralph, no. If I click on group, maybe because we're all in the same
Yeah,
group.
yeah,
Would be everybody.
yeah, and that's going to be just to us. I don't believe that's going to go out to you two. But
yeah,
do
under
it and see. Do it and see what happens. That's what I
Right.
want to see.
But on the comment section, all I have is the search up on top and no chat box to chat.
Right.
So it's basically the same thing as Talk
Right.
Studio.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's what I thought. I can do it because I'm a collaborator. That's why I could do it.
Yeah, that's what we
That's what I
wanted.
thought.
That's what we wanted to check out.
All right, so you're gonna kick my rear end down now?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
But I'll talk about that note for just a second.
We're gonna leave her up here just in case. I'll put her in the basement
That'll work.
just in case we need her to try something else.
Talking on that note about being able to chat. I've looked at quite a few of these, and so far the only one that I see that will allow you to chat to whatever online service you're on to is StreamYard. Now again, I don't do a lot of the online side of it. But again, and this is what I was going back to talking about with what piece of software you use. Again, to me, there is no one correct one for everybody. Everybody has features that they want to have. Okay. And when you're looking at different pieces of software, you have to write these things down and you need to make a priority list of what is the most important feature to you. What is the most important thing that you want your piece of software to do? This is kind of how you go about evaluating software and stuff. You have to create a feature list. Now, I know when you're just starting out, you don't know what features you want. This is where you have to spend a little bit of time and maybe a little bit of money and do a monthly subscription. I hate to say it, to each one of these and see what you like and what you don't like about each one. Because, like I said, what I like about something may be completely somebody, and he may not even care about it, could care less about it, could be the most important thing.
Yes,
And
Sean.
the exact opposite too. Sorry, go ahead.
This is the free version. I'm trying to answer people's questions in
No,
chat.
that's fine.
Yes, Sean. Yes, Shawnee. This is the free version.
Excuse me.
Simon is a sad trombone because he tried to redeem sad trombone and it didn't play it. Now, if you super chat Simon, it will play it. You'll see a little thing come up in my screen. Throw me $1.99 super chat.
We didn't. Excuse me.
But we didn't. I don't know if that'll work or not. I'll have to ask Ralph. But if you do super chat, it will pop up and play the song. I think where you can.
Yeah, the points system still works. It's not part of this. Again, that's through something else. That's through CloudBot, but it still works with this because that works through your chat. Okay, the sad trombone won't work, but if you somebody type in points. Yeah, my headset does look big. It is kind of big because I have extra cushion on here for my glasses.
That's
Plus,
because he has
this
small
headset
ears.
behind me is real wide. That just kind of blends in.
It's because he has small ears and he wants to look like Mickey Mouse.
That's it, man. A lot of headphones that I've worn push in on the side of my glasses.
Okay,
So
Here you go. This is for Simon. Okay.
Here you go.
There you go, Simon. I played it for you, bruh.
Yeah, so you see the points and all that stuff is still working because that works through chat. So I mean, and Shawnee's completely right. You need to write down a list of things, and it may be one thing, it may be two things, it may be a whole list of things, and you just have to try the software. And unfortunately, the free versions really won't tell you whether, because usually the stuff that you want to really work is usually behind the paywall. Such is life, it's just the way it is. But that, that's, you can, we can say we like this, or Eddie likes this, and I like this, or, somebody else likes that, whatever. It's what they like. But to find out what you want to use, yeah, you got to network and talk to people, but you just have to try them and see what works for you. Some people may absolutely hate having the chat over on the left side of the screen instead of the right hand of the screen. That may just drive them absolutely bonkers up the wall. They can't deal with it.
Yeah, maybe I need to move my camera from here over to here, because now instead of reading it here,
You got to look that way. Well, no, but that is a very valid point, because you may not, on your desk or table or whatever, you may not be able to move that so that you can do that. So there's all kinds of little things that come up and stuff like that. So
Simon says it's not the same. Me playing this head trombone when he hits it.
yeah, well, that's one of the things that we're doing a little bit of a workaround on, and we didn't add that one into OBS. Eddie, we just started playing with this an hour before we came online, so, or at least Eddie did anyway. So when he's talking about winging it, we are definitely winging it. Him more than me, but we are definitely winging it here.
Tim said, "Will this let you play multimedia intros?"
Yes. Yeah, it'll let you do it on the free version, but they watermark the crap out of it. So
okay,
they
Tim,
really push you to paying for it.
This is the thing, Tim. I tried to find our intro and I could not find our intro. I did find our outro though. So let's see, where's it at? Right here.
Did you find it?
See, we wanted that EV Mux all over our outro.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these places will put stuff that you want to be able to use behind that paywall, but it lets you see that it will let you see what capabilities it has. So, but, and again, all of these programs are right around the same price.
Simon's leaving because he can't play the sad trombone. He said, "Bye, see you next week."
I'll have to look. I don't know what that. I'll have to look at CloudBot and see exactly how to bring that one in.
Okay, let me see. I'll try it. Let's see. Hey, Simon says I'm going live. All right, let me see if I can figure it out.
Okay, so while you do that, I'll talk about the one thing that wins me over on this. When you're in this, there's two different types of scenes that you look at. They call them dynamic scenes and pro scenes, and you can switch back between the two. Right now we're on a pro scene. I'm going to switch over here to a dynamic scene. And what the best way that I know to explain the difference between these two is the dynamic scene is what you're used to with StreamYard, Talk Studio, and all of that. The pro scenes are what you're used to seeing in OBS and Meld and Prism and all those type of programs. What I have always wanted to be able to do without going through a bunch of crazy hoops was to be able to bring in the panel, the group discussion, all of our, the people that log in, Jerry and Des and Nelly and Alan and Gary and everybody, and bring that in with a completely transparent background so I could dump it into an OBS scene so that I could put my slideshows, whatever graphics I wanted behind it, and whatever you can do with OBS on top of the panel. Nothing has been able to do that as easily as this is. Right now we're on a pro scene. I'm going to switch to a dynamic scene. So the interface that Eddie and I are looking at right now looks exactly like StreamYard, Talk Studio, and everything else. It's got chat on one side. It's got your basement people, and it's got your controls where you can change your screen layout and stuff like that. So it's got all that stuff you're used to. So this is what I call like podcasting, or they call it the dynamic scene. So what I've always wanted to be able to do is take like these two windows and whoever else logs in and dump them into an OBS scene. That's what their pro scenes are. So if I come back over here to this pro scene, if we change this background, it's going to have that watermark and stuff all over it. So that's why we just have it set to a red background. Plus, when you pay for it, you get rid of the watermark. It's like everybody else. So just having this screen here with completely transparent. So it's just the windows, however many windows, if we had all 12 people that we could have up here, there'd be 12 little squares with transparent background. So whatever background I put behind it, whatever video I put behind it, if I don't know, some of you have seen the scenes that I've created in OBS that have the, for Halloween and for Christmas, I have a couple scenes that have a wreath that goes all the way around the outside of my screen or the outside of my window. I've always wanted to be able to put that around the whole screen. So like where we have the red background, it would look like a wreath all the way around. It would be transparent with the panel in the middle of the screen, and I can do whatever I want with it. Talk with my hands, I'm sorry. But it just gives you way more ability to do stuff graphically. So, and I can create as many scenes as I want with this panel in it. So the dynamic scene. So I'm gonna pop back over here for a second. So just like we have all the different layouts and stuff here, the only dynamic scene that it pulls into a pro scene is this very first one that looks like this. But if you really think about it, this is really the scene that you use probably 95% of the time. You know, if you wanted to put one of these, like, well, that doesn't even show up right, but one of these, you could always jump back over here to the dynamic scene and do what you wanted, and then jump back over here to your pro scene. That'll put you back like this. So it gives you a lot of flexibility with your graphics, what you can do with everything around your panel as graphically. And I'm very much into doing that kind of thing. So this is the only program that I have found, again, without going through just some crazy routing stuff around all over the place, is being able to pull that panel in to an OBS type scene where you can do all your stuff that you want. Now, again, this doesn't have the full complement of stuff that you can do with OBS, but it has all of the major stuff. You can add in the pro scenes, you can add widgets and contest wheels and scrolling stuff and all kinds of stuff. So it has tickers, it has all of the stuff that you normally have, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. But just kind of a quickie thing on how you need to go about figuring out which piece of this software works for you. And it's bad. I know it does kind of suck that you kind of have to pay for a month of it, but it's really the only way that you're going to unlock all the features that will be able to tell you whether you need that piece of software. You're going to pay a month of something, no matter what it is. If you're going to pay for something, you're going to pay for a month of it anyway, of whatever it is. And like I said, all of these are, except for StreamYard nowadays, are within about $10 of each other, probably less than that. So there's, Talk Studio is a little bit cheaper. doesn't really do everything that we want it to do or that people want it to do. I know the chat thing is that's a big thing for some people, but also when you're the second part of when you're evaluating the software, like I said, you will never find a piece of software that will do absolutely everything you want it to do. If you find that, you're lucky. Okay. You're either lucky or you have some low, I won't say low standards, but low requirements, some lower end requirements. Okay. The more you want to be able to do, the more requirements your software is going to need. So the second part of that is, okay, if it won't do one of the things that I want it to be able to do, how can I work around that? What's the workaround for that? Because there's workarounds pretty much for everything. So you have to explore those workarounds. If the workaround is a real pain in the neck, then yeah, it may not be worth it. But if it's something simple, now, and I'll use this as an example, the way that we're bringing the alerts in, since we're not tied directly into Talk Studio, is since CloudBot is its own entity, it's its own piece of software, the alerts you can just bring into OBS using a browser source. And you get the browser link from CloudBot. It's right there when you create your alert. It's right there at the top of the screen. You just copy it, paste it into OBS as a browser alert. So the limitation on that is it's going to play the sound. So you're still going to hear the sound. The limitation is it's only going to show in Eddie's window or my window if I'm on my channel. But it's still going to show and it's still going to be there. And it actually might be better that it doesn't come up and get in the way of your whole screen. You can actually block Eddie out for a couple of seconds too. So anyway, it's just the way you have to go about looking at software. Like I said, is evaluating software is something that I used to do where I worked. So it's just, again, you won't find that thing that does everything, especially the more requirements that you have. And you have to be willing to spend some time. And I know time is something that a lot of people don't have. But again, if you want to improve your streams, if you want to be able to do all the fun things, then you have to put in some time. And unfortunately, it does take a little bit of money. At least this isn't a crazy giant amount of money unless you want to pay for a whole year at a time. And then it's a couple $100. But you're going to end up paying, if you're paying monthly, you're going to end up paying that too. Now, the one thing on this, when you go from here, I had this pulled up. Let me share the screen. Okay, this is the pricing and what you get. And this is the annual plan that I have up in here. I'll push it back to the monthly. So this tells you what you get with each one. So the things that you get when you come here, and two of the things that I would like are the web source. In OBS, that's the browser source. So if you were paying for the full pro version of this, you could actually do that, pull the alerts in from CloudBot without having to go do it in OBS. You could pull it right into here because it's a web source, browser source, same thing. So again, the ability to do that's here. You just got to pay more for it. And what was the other thing that I wanted? Oh, multiple cameras. Now, this is one thing in Talk Studio that you do get is the ability to do multiple cameras. Again, this is one of those features you have to look at. Is it something I really use? And again, there's easy workarounds for not having that ability, either directly just getting on your phone and going in as another guest, or bringing your phone into OBS and using, having that as your second camera in your OBS if you do that. So if you look at what Eddie and I use to create these streams, we use OBS to create our camera views with our green screens and all that stuff in it. We use CloudBot to do the points and the alert system. And then Eddie uses Nightbot which we could use CloudBot for, except for the weather because they don't have a weather thing in there. So keep Nightbot for the weather. See, there's always workarounds. That's what I'm saying. And then what else do we use? There's something else we use. There's basically 4 pieces of software that we use to create this. But I personally love using OBS for my camera because it's very easy to set up the green screen in there. You set up a scene, and every time you bring up OBS, it starts that scene, and you're ready to go with your camera. And just in your streaming software, you use the OBS virtual camera as your excuse me, she's on that as your camera. So it's getting all this stuff working together to really create a neat stream. So Eddie, we cannot hear you, or I cannot hear you.
Even says
There you go.
how people handle with free version.
No, you were breaking up. How many people on panel with the free version? 12.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, asking.
You keep breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's well, I'm having trouble with the chat because the chat's over here now and I have the screens over there. So I'm looking in 2 different directions here. I can move these guys around.
I think I'm gonna be the same because of your screen. Hold on. Let me try something. Yep, that's what it is. I was getting a lot of feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of feedback.
Okay. I just got rid of it. Yeah, we're getting some serious. What that was. I probably shouldn't have shared sound. That may have been coming from me. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, that was. I think it was because you shared sound.
Yep. Okay.
No, I'm not, Des. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what you can do with this. But like I said, the being able to bring in, for me, being able to bring in that dynamic scene or the panel into just a blank canvas for that I can, do whatever I want to on it. And there's all kinds of things you can bring in, like really neat. Where am I?
Yes, I realized that I was choppy and echoing. I heard it too. It was because he shared the audio on the shared screen, so it adjusted that. Everybody's saying there, better now, echo. I know.
You guys, you got to remember, we hear it before you do. Okay, this has this really neat little scrolling like ticker widget up here that you can do all kinds of neat stuff with, and I have different types of
Cool.
type of stuff for this. And I do not believe that there's a character limit on this. I just literally the other day, I held down the 1 key for about a minute and a half. And then I just copied it and dumped it into a text editor so that it could tell me how many characters I had. And there was like 2,000 characters there. So I don't know if there's a character limit on this. On the regular ticker, this is a widget or an extra app, but it comes with it. It's not anything extra. It's part of it. On the regular ticker across the bottom, like in StreamYard and everything else, that as a banner, which will come up like the chat highlight, but it's 200 characters. And if it's a regular banner, it's 200 characters. But when you change it to a ticker, it goes to 1,000. So you get 200 as a banner, you get 1,000 as a ticker, or you can add this, which, as far as I can tell, is completely and totally not
There you go.
character based.
You can have all of your members scrolling across the top desk.
Yeah, and you can change the colors. You can do pretty much whatever you want with it. Ooh, that's nasty. Go back to blue.
Hoorah, TF! Create and
And how
relate.
fast it goes.
Oh, you can change how fast it goes. Oh,
Yeah, you can change it. You can change the font size. You can make it go the other way. You know, pretty much all your basic stuff.
I don't like making it go the other way. I don't know why they do that, because you read from left to right, and when it goes the other way, you're reading backwards. You're Chinese.
It's for Japanese people.
Yes, this is Create and Relate. Create and Relate wants to know, is it similar to operating OBS?
The pro scenes, yes. The pro scenes, yes. I mean, Eddie was in here earlier messing with it. I told Eddie about it. I said, I got to go eat. And I hung up on him on the phone and said, go mess with it. He went and played with it. When I came back, he had everything already done. So, yes, he's familiar with doing this stuff. But yeah, I have not tried Riverside. Riverside is really supposed to be a good one, but it's expensive. And it was originally set up for doing podcasts, and it's still kind of leaning towards that. So like podcast and creating the recordings thereof. So that it's an option. It's one of the ones I mentioned before. I would tend to say that's probably more towards professional side. I don't want to say just, for pro, but people, who may have like big channels, because I think that one is kind of expensive. I think that one is on the expensive side. And I do not believe Riverside has a free tier. I might be wrong. I've looked at so many of these so many times. And that's another thing. These, except for maybe Talk Studio, and that's maybe one ding against them, is they are constantly updating these things, because this is a huge market. Is all this type of software, so they're always trying to do better than the other ones. So you look at one now, like being able to bring this panel in, bringing the dynamic scene into a pro scene, that's marked as being new in the interface. So that's something they've added recently that they didn't used to have. Yeah, I'll answer my side of that one. Yes, and price and ability. StreamYard is real simple, and that's what the reason that StreamYard is so popular is because it is so simple to use. Okay, it's not the most feature oriented. Yeah, they've improved, but when they improve, they also up their price. Like I said, all of these pieces of software are so similar to each other as far as once you start actually using them, how they work. Like I said, this button may be on the right side on this one, it's on the left side on the other one, just like on this one, the chat's on the other side from the other one. Again, and once you've used it for a little bit, you won't even remember that you were using the chat from the other side. It's just how your eye moves, your head moves and stuff.
I've used StreamYard, I've used Talk Studio, and now I've used this. And like Ralph said, took me no time, because I'm familiar with StreamYard. I'm familiar with Talk Studio. This is very simple, easy to use. The only difference really that people may not like, besides the chat being on the left side instead of the right side, is if someone's up on panel and they're not a owner or a collaborator, administrator, whatever you want to call it, you cannot type in chat. Once again, StreamYard's the only one that Ralph has seen that he knows about, that people up on panel can actually type in chat while they're on panel if they don't have the YouTube side open.
Right. And that, I mean, And that's the simple workaround to that is just pop the YouTube chat out and put it on, put it in the corner of your window where I know a lot of people are on their phones and they can't do that or whatever. But I think if you're on your phone, you can't really get at your chat anyway. So again, look at the software, look at what the limitations are, look at what the workarounds are. Some actually, it's funny, and I've run into this at work before, where your software won't do what you want or something's not working the way you want, and you figure out a workaround, and then the workaround actually ends up working better than what you were trying to do in the first place. So just because you have to go for a workaround doesn't mean once you learn to pop that chat out, and again, it's just getting used to doing it, and again, a little bit different interface. Once you get used to popping that chat out and having it out, you might like having it not messing with the chat in here unless it's private chat to the people in the panel and just working with the chat, on YouTube. If you're using OBS, you can dock the YouTube chat in OBS so you don't have a separate window open, just like it's docked in your YouTube window. Again, it's the software you're using and coming up with workarounds and making things work. There's nothing that you're going to open software wise that you've never used before and not have some kind of a learning curve, whether it's a long one or a short one. So this thing even has built-in contests and stuff, and we'll just run one right now.
Tim, the price line of StreamYard sucks. Is that what you're talking about? Ura Mona did what?
So this is another built-in app. Put this over here. So it says type prize in the comments to join. And again, this can be.
Wait. For one, Dez is not eligible.
I had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. That's on you, man. And again, I could go change this, I don't think I can change the pound sign or the hashtag, but I can change the prize. I can change the color of that. I can change, what the text is. And there's all kinds of different things I can do here. So if you go into the YouTube chat and type in pound prize, we got nothing to give away, but we're going to see if this works. And again, this is one of the widgets and apps that comes with it. This is not something that I added extra. Okay, and now it's scrolling the people that have joined.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So once you type hashtag prize, you can see if you
you can see that you've entered. Come on,
yeah.
Need some more people to type in pound prize, hashtag prize. Just like it says there.
Ah, that is cool right there.
Yeah. Now see, this is something I knew how this worked, but I hadn't seen this because I hadn't done anything online before.
People can actually see if they've entered.
Yep. And you can resize this if you want. So like you could start this and then put it up here, move it over here.
That is cool.
And it could just sit there and run for a few minutes. And then when we get ready to do it, we have a button that says start or spin for us. That is cool. I do kind of like that.
Yeah, that is cool.
With the avatar and your platform. Yeah. Neat. I like it.
It does have a dark mode or a light mode, mode just by clicking a button. And then if y'all have any questions about this.
Yep. It also, for you guys that are familiar with OBS, it also has a studio mode. So
High Country. This is
studio mode will let you, it'll bring up two windows on your interface, and your live window will be on the right, and your editor window will be on the left. So I could go add something here, and you guys wouldn't see it happening until I said, make this one go live. Same thing in OBS. It's a studio mode, but it lets you add something to your scene, and then your audience isn't seeing what you're doing. So.
This is actually EV Mux. Mona did what? You see right there in the top right hand corner, it says powered by EV Mux. This is the free version.
Gotcha.
We're just letting everybody know that there's there's other options than StreamYard and Talk Studio. One of the bad things is people up on panel can't chat up on panel unless they have YouTube popped out. The other thing is, instead of the chat being over on the right hand side, it's over on the left hand side. So I need to rearrange my camera to over here, so I'm not looking away from the camera. No, I did not replace Jamie the table on fire. Hanging and counting down the hours to my doctor appointment Monday. Okay. Yeah, it does have a studio mode in here, create and relate. You all can also see how the little, and there's different personalizations of how those highlight things come up. And
just like in StreamYard, you have your brand. They have the same button here where you can set up all your colors and your brand and all that kind of stuff. And that lets you choose how your names look and how the
see, there's the names right
the
there.
pop out chat. One thing in the chat, and here's kind of an oddity with this one is, we're in a pro scene right now, and there's not another person up here, but this is like Talk Studio when you're in a pro scene, in that it won't move everybody up when the chat comes out. It will do it if you're in the dynamic scene. So it's a little weird, but again, switching back and forth, and you can actually make it so that people can't tell which one you're in. Like if we went into the dynamic scene and just put a red background in there, you guys would hardly be able to tell if I was switching back and forth between a dynamic scene and a pro scene.
Ralph.
Yes.
Answer to our other question. If you look at the bottom left-hand side, it does not allow you, once you start the live, to switch from landscape to portrait mode.
Okay.
There is an option here, guys, if you want to start streaming either in landscape mode or up and down portrait mode.
Portrait, yeah.
Once you start the live, that option is no longer, well, it's still there, but it says cannot switch to landscape portrait mode during a live.
Right. Which makes sense.
We was curious about that before we started, if it would allow that.
So again, and it's right there. It's just a button, and it just creates a vertical layout instead of a horizontal layout portrait.
Hey, I don't know if Jamie's in here or not. Jamie, are you in here? What's Simon do? Oh, he's saying cabinets will start going in tonight. Hopefully it'll be done tomorrow in the remodel. I don't know where Gary's at. I'm not his keeper, Annie. Oh, and on the back, somebody said something. The Moose said something about my shirt or something. On the back. There you go. Can you read it? Ralph, can you read it?
Yes, I can read. I think everybody can. It's nice and clear. There you go. Make it big. Got that right. It's a skill we all have. But you know what? I get to do it in 2 languages.
Now, I have a question. Where is the layout modes? I know they're not at the settings, maybe? Nope.
You're not going to have that in the pro scene. It's only going to be in the dynamic scene.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's why I was saying, if you have the same background in the dynamic scene that you have in your pro scenes, they won't be able to tell when you switch back. Actually, they will, but they won't notice it very much. So if you wanted to use one of those, those normal scenes like in StreamYard and Doc Studio in the dynamic scene, you could just switch back over. Like I can do that right now.
So
Like
on this,
I just switched over to the dynamic
yeah,
scene, and now I'm switching at the things at the bottom and stuff. So
yeah.
and
See,
then
there's a lot of different.
and then
There's a lot
there's
of different formats or what layouts that you can use, and you can
yeah.
also create your own. There is so. Uh-oh. What? Oh, there they go. All right.
Because let's
Well,
do
we will do this giveaway, and I'll make sure whoever wins, email doubledogskeeper@gmail.com. I'll make sure she gives you something, even if it's just a sticker. I don't know. We'll find out here.
So we're gonna make it big.
That's kind of cool. We're going to run this and see who wins. And then if you win, email doubledogskeeper@gmail.com, and I'll make sure she gets something out to you. What? I don't know what she's going to get to you. I don't know what it's.
There.
And also on the wheel, well, you don't know about the wheel yet, but
Probably should have turned it down a little bit as far as time.
oh, so, okay, TF1. Congratulations, traveling fools. You won, I don't know what, but email devildogskeeper@gmail.com, and she will send something out to you, even if it's my sticker. Okay? You want to show them the wheel, Ralph?
Yeah, I do that wheel.
Okay, that's one giveaway right there. Here's the other giveaway that EV Mux offers.
Now these are widgets and apps, but again, this is part of it. This is not something that we added. It's part
And
of
y'all are not going to win whatever this comes up.
Yeah. we just added the widget. These are just like their default things that they have in here. We actually deleted a couple. So unlike the other one that we just ran, that one picked up what you typed in the chat. This one does not pick up what's in the chat. You would have to go type these into a control that you have.
Type in add Des. Add Peaceful Des to there so they can see what happens. See? Right there. Where is that? I don't see it yet. Oh, right there. Give Des away. Yeah. See? Right there. You can add stuff. He did it that quick. Just added, typed in give Des away. Let's see who wins her. Or if she wins.
I could go get rid of everything but Des that way. But anyway, it's kind of like the duck races where you have to go type all the participants or what you're going to win or what, you have to type all the items in. So anyway, then it spins. And again, we have a button.
You're getting sleepy. You're getting very, very sleepy. Y'all are all going to super chat Devil Dog or send him a PayPal. What? Oh, dang, Lindsay give Des away. Did it work, though? Nope, no PayPals, no, wait, where's the ticker? You took my ticker off.
Oh, I did. Did I?
Yeah, it's not there. Maybe it's on the,
I guess
there, look.
Yeah, I think I did.
Look, we just hypnotized you. Show your support for PayPal.
Yeah. Send Eddie a video switcher.
I hope y'all are having fun with this. I am.
Anyway, that's how this kind of stuff works.
What is Des? Why do you say? Wait, hold on. She says I do not see anything. That's what she said. You don't see anything. What, Des? What was she?
Yeah. What didn't you see?
Anything? She says, "Wait, I do not see it." Bring up the wheel again. See on the wheel right there, it says the very top right yellow one says give Des away. We were trying to give you away, Des, but it didn't land on it. It landed on something else.
There, you can see that one a little better. And there's a couple different styles here. I just selected a different style.
It's behind us.
No, it's
Not
not.
in front of us. Huh?
No, it's in front of us.
No, it's not. Not on my screen.
Your screen's broken.
Hold on. Let me look at. Wait, where's it at? Hold on.
I've got both our screen open and the YouTube screen open, and I see
I
it in
haven't.
front.
Though I don't see it. Hold on. See something going on mine because I see the wheel, but it's behind us. Wait, maybe I. No. Did I make us small?
No,
Did it make us big again? What is that? Oh,
well,
that's
you're over in the dynamic scene.
oh.
That's why you can't see it,
Okay, hold on. So we can be in two different scenes.
I guess.
Hold on, let me.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, I guess we can.
Ooh, that's weird. I guess that's okay. Well, that's okay because I could be in the dynamic scene and you could be in the.
Who's showing on? Let me see who's showing on YouTube then. Hold on. I gotta bring up YouTube. I don't know what happened.
The pro scene is what? No, I think it's no. It says playing under by the dynamic scene. No, we can't be in two because if I click on on the other one, then it says if you look on our panel, it tells you which one's playing.
Okay, so a minute ago though, yeah, now I see it says pro scenes playing, and see this is how I was seeing it. Well, no, I was seeing it behind us, but
I don't know why I never saw it behind us. Anyway, we're probably driving everybody crazy.
Hi guys. I don't even know if they're paying attention anymore.
That's the wheel block. What
Did
else
you
is
see
there? Yeah, did you see it? Did it come up?
it? She said, "Good. No one wants his old broad." Moose says, "I see it now." See, I don't know. Maybe they were in the other scene. Maybe something
Okay,
happened.
and I just added a widget that'll tell you how many users you have on each platform,
Oh, that's cool.
and you can turn off the ones that you're not using at the moment.
Huh. Pretty cool.
So like you could
Pretty spiffy.
slide him over there in the corner if you wanted to, just for fun. And again, all of this stuff that I'm putting on here that I'm adding.
Hey, bring up the
is,
wheel again, real quick.
Okay.
Okay, see, guys,
wheel?
on the wheel there are like options to where you can see that's the compass. See the compass in the middle? There are options of preset wheels. Go ahead and go through them real quick.
Okay, that's colorful. That's what we started with. And then I switched to compass so that we got a little bit better so Des could see. And no, I can't do that. Change the font. Then there's a casino. And then there's another one that's just called simple.
Here I am. Welcome in. Pack a whole house, 2 adult kids and 2 cats. I would move if I had a place to go. Tough to read. First wheel. The second was better. That's what the moose said.
Yeah, the first one, there's not much contrast between the white letters and the kind of pastel background that they have there.
Yeah, and the white letters are a little bit small on that too.
Yeah.
The other one's
Yeah.
bigger.
The only thing is you don't have you can't change the fonts and the colors on this. You can just change whatever their 4 layouts are. But I agree, I like that one. That one's not too bad. That one's called simple for a reason, but it's very easy to see. And then you can turn off whether it shoots the confetti and claps when it gets done. But I like that on.
I do too.
And there's also a button on there to clear the winner. So if you were going to spin again, you could have it take the winner off.
This is if the colors were black, it would be okay. I guess on that first one.
Yeah. There's just not enough contrast there. I mean, the purple one at the bottom one's kind of okay. The two at the bottom are gonna, but beyond that, the yellow, yeah, that one's really hard to read.
But see, I want to hypnotize them to where they show their support and Cash App or PayPal me.
Really. I mean, just for your base stuff that's just in there automatically, you know, like I said, none of this stuff that I'm adding is stuff that we've added as, you know, a plug-in or anything like that.
Yeah, the only thing about the kind of the first giveaway and the StreamYard giveaway is on this, you know, on the StreamYard, you enter the own hashtag or whatever, and this one just goes with the hashtag prize or whatever. And
Well, you can change the word. I don't think you can change the hashtag, but you can change the word.
bring it up. First one.
Put it. Delete it. Just bring it back. Ain't no big deal. Yeah,
So
so
you
I can
change the
change it
prize
to.
word.
Oh, do I have to put that in? Oh, I have to put the hashtag in. The title does not include. I'm getting an error. That's why I'm sorry. I'm reading. It's too long.
Too long.
Oh.
See, guys, we're learning with you on certain stuff we haven't tried out. Ah, yep. Devil dogging. Hey,
You have to type it in 2 places.
all right. Type in hashtag Devil Dog in the comments to join this giveaway, and I'll have Jamie send the second person something so y'all can see it if people wasn't here. All right, nice seeing you, Create and Relate. Thanks for coming in. Tim Mitchell wants to know, hey, Ralph, one quick side question.
Yes.
He asked me the other day if there was a way to record his lives he does from his phone.
His lives from his phone. Is he using anything like StreamYard or one of these services to do it with? Because most of them have a recording built into them. If he's doing it just directly through YouTube, you could just look for a screen recorder that would work on your phone. Don't know what kind of quality you're going to get out of it.
Well, here's the thing, too. If he's doing it just from YouTube, YouTube actually, if he's posting or doing his live, YouTube saves it. And so he can go in there afterwards and download his live, you know, with some kind of, you know, software to.
Live. There's things you can buy that'll let you do YouTube downloads.
Yeah, it may take a while depending on how big the live is.
Yep.
There are stuff that can do it. And then he can go in and edit it or do whatever if that's what he's looking to do, Tim.
Now, if he's just trying to get a recording of his live and he can get on a computer, you can always play the live on YouTube, full screen in OBS, and just record your OBS screen. That's what I do a lot when I want to like grab a clip from like Jerry or Eddie or something like that. I don't want to go through downloading the whole giant thing. I'll just bring up OBS and bring in a browser source and then just make it full screen and hit record.
That's cool. See guys, I just resized it by clicking on the screen, resizing the window, and clicking and dragging the window up. Just like OBS, if you're familiar with OBS on moving stuff around the screen and stuff.
And if he didn't want Tim, I hope that answered your question. If he didn't want you to see him doing that, he could have brought up studio mode. It's just clicking a button, moved it, and then click, change over to this one,
Yeah,
and it would show you the new one.
it's like a little toggle switch.
Yep, it's just like the studio mode in OBS. If you're familiar with that. So right now,
I just did it.
Yep.
I did it in studio mode.
And you didn't see him resizing everything. It just boom, when he switched it over, it just switched. That's the advantage studio mode. And it's the same thing in OBS. OBS has a studio mode where you can go in and edit on one screen and then switch it over and make it what's going out on the live feed.
And then there's a little transition button that switches it from the actual studio mode that you're working in to the
Yeah,
live.
that's how you switch it. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it works real nice. But again, if we were on one of the paid versions, we'd be able to show you how you could put in, like slideshows behind it, like my slideshow that's going on behind me. If anybody's watching, I don't have the same picture behind me, and all that is a slideshow in OBS. Has the exact same function in here, other than Eddie's on the free version. It's going to put that EVMux watermark over the top of it, but it would play, and just like my slideshow is playing here, but that slideshow would be where the red background is now.
That is because I'm cheap and I am paying for Talk Studio right now, and I don't want to pay for two different streaming services.
Yep.
Right back.
So yeah, I like OBS is a great program to me. It does a lot of things that I want to be able to do, like screen recording. I record my tutorials with it. It's just a really good program. You can use it for creating, this camera view that you're seeing right here all I have in this scene is my camera with the green screen and the chroma key. And then you can't see it because we have this frame around it. I have that little yellow background around it. And then I just have a slideshow of a bunch of pictures of, this is just like man cave type pictures, just stuff like that. I have one that's beaches. I have one that's mountains. I have one that's winter scenes. I have one that's cars. So instead of doing that slideshow just in my window, like I said, you could have that slideshow running where this whole red background is behind everything. Just, it opens up a lot of doors to be able to do what we're doing here, doing it this way. Even though I went ahead and paid for Talk Studio for a whole year because I thought I was going to be able to do what I'm doing with it, and you can't. So I was all excited about it. It's a great program. It's really a good program, but it didn't do what I thought I wanted it to do. And I thought I was going to start doing more lives because I thought it would do what I wanted it to do, but it didn't. But I wanted to save the money by paying for the whole year. I did go ahead and pay. I do have a paid version of this. I went ahead and paid the $25 because I wanted to see how everything worked without the watermarks and stuff on it. And it works very, very, very well.
Traveling Fool says, how many admins does it let you have?
Okay, now this is where this one is a little bit different than the others. The interface on this, when you first get into it, is again more like OBS than it is StreamYard or Talk Studio. I'm just going to say StreamYard because that's what everybody's used to hearing. You create what they call studios. So Eddie's going to we created this one for Tech Talk. So he's got a studio for Tech Talk. He can create a studio for him and Gary. You can have two what they call collaborators, co-stream, co-producers, whatever you want to call it. They call them collaborators. In the free version and the first paid version, you can have two. Okay, now that doesn't sound like very many. In the $50, the pro one, the top of the line one, it's 4. But, and this is a huge but, it's 2 per studio. So going back to what I said before, Eddie created a studio for Tech Talk. He and I are the collaborators on that. So we're the co-streamers of that, the co-host of that. He can create another one and call it whatever he wants that he and Gary can be the collaborators on. So it's 2 per studio, not 2 for the whole thing. So that's what you do. You create studios that you will have different people, again, Eddie and I are doing this one, so we need to be the collaborators on this one. Now, he could not add me as a collaborator onto the one that he and Gary will be collaborator on, but it gives you that ability without having to go pay for the huge giant one at $50 a month to have more than one, I'll say, site-wide collaborator, but only 2 per, I'll say, session or studio. So 2 doesn't sound like a lot, but you're able to use those 2 in different ways than you can on anybody else's. 2, it's just on anybody else. If they say you get 2, you get 2 for the whole site for everybody. This, it's 2 per, I'll say, session or studio or whatever you want to call it. That's how that works with this, which is really pretty nice.
And see, here's the thing. Like me and Ralph do this Tech Talk the first Saturday of every month. So that studio, we can have the background set up, we can have whatever set up. And every time we go into that studio, the videos, of the intro, the outro, everything else is going to be in that studio. Right. And if I create another studio with like me and Gary or the live that I do the other Saturday nights, it's going to have my intro instead of the Tech Talk intro and outro. It'll have my intro and outro on that.
So, and you don't have to go set them up every time. They're set up as studio. So this week is Tech Talk. We go into the Tech Talk studio and all of our backgrounds. And like you said, the intro and outros, it's all there. You don't have to go change it or anything. When he comes in next week, he goes to his other studio and you can create. I don't think there's a limit on the studios that you can create other than just like OBS, you could get so disorganized you wouldn't know what was going on. But again, it just, there's a lot of capabilities in this thing that make it nice. There's 2 guys that do a lot of the videos. There are a lot of YouTube videos on how to use this program too. It's not just something that's out there. On one of them, I think I heard the guys say that the software was designed by people who actually do video production, like live video productions, like the guys that are in like not TV studio type people, but guys that do that type of thing of switching this, that, bringing this up and that up and all this other stuff that what producing, a live stream is really all about. So we're going to do this contest or we're going to just talk?
Yeah, Gary, see there, type hashtag Devil Dog if you want to enter. Thanks for coming in, Gary.
Somebody type it in all lowercase or all uppercase so that it does not match the case I have in there, just so that we see if that works. It probably will. It may not, though.
Oh, Gary just did it because you got D, capital Dog, and there he is. So it worked because he has capital D, lower D for dog.
Okay, cool.
So case doesn't matter. It's not case sensitive. All right.
Well, we'll find out because I actually have it typed in 2 different ways.
There we go. We are spinning to see. Oh, that would be cool to have this going the whole freaking live. Just having it.
Well, you could make it small and put it across the bottom just like a ticker. So you could have that, and you could have it blend into the background. So
yeah, Outback Tasmania. Jonesy won. So,
you get basically both types of contests as part of this software. The one in chat where you can type in a hashtag, or the one where you add the members to a wheel. So cool.
So Jonesy, email Jamie, devildogskeeper@gmail.com. Let her know you won, and she'll send you something.
And there's all kinds of stuff you can add. There's you can add notes that you can just see like yourself. It won't go out to the stream. So like you could put like sticky note on your screen. It has a QR code thing. Excuse me. So you can add QR codes.
What's the dang QR code?
That QR code's for EVMux.
Ah, okay.
So like if I wanted to have a QR code up on the screen while I was doing a live to point you to my website, I could just put that on there and you could just scan it with your phone and it would just take you right there. It's like if somebody scans that, that will take you to the EVMux website.
Good night, TF. Thanks for coming in, brother. Gary, did you set up the redirect? We got about 10 minutes left. Anybody have any questions? If you do, ask him now. If he don't know the answer, we have 19 people watching. 20. I'm getting two different numbers. On the one on the screen is 19, and one up top is 20. Now it's 2020. Mr. Willow A Ranch. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
Jeff, how are you doing?
See.
Really, I haven't talked to Jeff or Wendy in a while.
Yeah, me either.
Glad you came in. Absolutely. But anyway, yeah, we got kind of sidetracked on doing this tonight. I was just going to talk about different pieces of software like I did for all the streaming stuff, but we can do that next month or not at all. It really doesn't matter. But like I said, maybe next month, if Eddie hasn't paid for it by then, we'll do it from, we initiated this from Eddie's. That's why we're on his free version. Like I said, I have a paid version and I'm probably going to keep it at least for another month anyway. We may initiate it from my side so that I can do all the backgrounds and that kind of stuff. But we'll see how it goes. But you see it all, it again has all of the functionality of all the others. And again, I wish there was a way that one of us could just say, here, absolutely use this program. It will do everything you want it to do. And we could be right all the time. It just, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way because everybody has different things that are important to them or not. And also, like I said, it's unfortunate that you kind of have to pay for this stuff to really be able to figure out if it's worth it or not, if it really works for you and has the features you want. No, Gary, we're not on Talk Studio. We are on EVMux.
Thanks for coming in, Gary. You see, Gary, up there, simply go.
I was going to be nice and not say anything, but you said it and Demus said it. So
we were showing people another option because some people was not happy with Talk Studio, the way it when you're up on panel, you can't type in chat unless you have your YouTube open or popped out or whatever. Well, same thing with EVMux. Ralph says the only one that he knows that you can is StreamYard. So if you want to pay $45 for that one option, if it's worth it to you, go ahead and do it. But if not, you know, these are two other options that are pretty nice. They both have their pros and cons. EVMux has the chat on the left side instead of the right side. And you can't type. Now, you can hear people in the basement. So if somebody comes in, you're like, hey, guys, I'm down in the basement. We can hear you.
Yep. Or you can turn that off.
Yeah, you can turn it off. There's a little toggle switch that says listen off stage feeds. So there's also Restream. I have not used Restream. So yeah, exactly. Well, EVMux is back to the original StreamYard cost. It's $25 a month. So it's like $4.
Monthly. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you pay monthly.
yeah.
It's 19 if you pay for a whole year up front.
So I don't know anything about Restream M. I know there is Restream out there, but
I've looked at it. It's basically the same as these are all basically the same thing. Just, I mean, there's a bunch. I mean, there's others that we haven't even talked about. I think there's one called OneStream. There's other one. There's a whole bunch of them. We just kind of stick to the major ones.
and they all have their pros and cons, you know.
Yep.
This one don't seem to be no lag really in chat. As soon as somebody types it, pretty much. Somebody type something, please. Sup, NBL. I look over here. No said trombone though.
Well, there will be. We just don't have it working right now. Like I said, Eddie started playing with this an hour before we went live, so
There
we were
is
planning on it.
there is a little bitty tiny lag because it says Yo Gary over here on my YouTube side, and it comes up a little bit and it says 10 seconds ago. But there's a small lag. I don't know if it's as big as the lag on Talk Studio, but there is a small lag because
Well, there's always going to be a small lag. I don't think.
the one on Talk Studio is pretty good, pretty big. To me, it is. Let's see.
But see that's why I was saying, you have to really try all these things out to see how they actually work.
See, we have hey over there, and it just now come up over here, and it says 9 seconds ago. So it looks like there's about a 10-second delay because it pops up at hey, and it said 9 seconds ago. Hoorah, Devil Dog 4 seconds ago. Hoorah, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
That's right.
Seconds ago.
Yeah, it's real close.
Yeah, so it actually depends. Sometimes it was a little bit of laggy, and then that one came up right away. Okay, Bruce.
Yeah, I don't.
Hasn't come up over here yet. Right there. And like 3 things come up at the same time 11 seconds ago.
Yeah, it probably has a buffer. Yeah, but again, it doesn't look as bad as the one on Talk Studio is.
Yeah.
And again, it's a little off sometimes. It's not consistently 10 seconds. It's a few seconds here or there. So it depends on what's going on, I guess. But yeah, again, just another piece of software, but again, has some really, really neat features, especially if you're into the graphics side of it, of being able to pull this panel into a blank scene, I'll say. Because like Eddie's got the background off now completely, so.
Yeah, just change the color to black.
It actually looks pretty cool, actually. I mean, with the blue neon frames there.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
And those 2 frames were just turning on frames. There's a little thing in your brand called frames, and you just turn that on, and it puts a frame around each person. He didn't have to do that individually. So if there was 3 people up here, 4 people, each person would have that frame around their window.
And you can also hold on, let me go see that one. You can also go back and put the color, change the color of it.
Yep.
And the size of it. Ah. That didn't work, did it? Reset the default. I didn't know it meant the size like that. I thought it was going to like make it thicker or thinner.
No, yeah, that's what you would normally think. But that may be like if you're doing like a 720 by 1280 720p. And this is 1080p. It's Yeah.
And Gary was taking a nap. He said, "You didn't call and wake me up. I didn't know you were asleep."
Yeah, even the free version is 1080p. So no 720. Which I think that makes a huge difference, is to be able to stream in 1080 versus 720. I think it's just a much clearer picture. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this. Again, just something else. And you know me, I got to play with software. It's what I do. It's what happens when you're retired and bored, man. You just, when you're a computer geek and you're retired and you're bored, you play with software. But I did that before I was retired too.
All right, guys. If no one has any other questions, it's 8:30 right now. Ralph, you good?
I'm good.
All right. I appreciate everyone coming in, and I'm assuming Gary did the redirect. If not, go over to Gary's channel, Bellip29. He is going live right now. And until next week, thank y'all for coming in. Love y'all very much. See you next time.
I'm hearing that static.